Hello, welcome to Spilly. My name is Marcus, and this is a show where I get to speak to inspirational people and share some inspirational stories to connect people together, inspire others, and help people learn something new. This is episode 73. It's changes. We are going through some changes. There is a song in there. I'll let you sing it at home. Lesley Elder-Aznar will be joining us at 7:10 p.m. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. Until then, though, you get me for the next few minutes, keeping you company. But when you get in here, make sure that there are always three things that I ask for. It is to like, share, and comment on whichever platform you are watching this on. It's three simple things. The reason that I ask for these, as always, is just to push it up on the algorithms. If you like it and share it, it means other people may get to see this and then come into the Spill It community. And we keep growing every single week. And lastly, if you comment, it means that you are part of the conversation. It means that we can interact with you as well. You can give me your comments. You can ask me a question. You can ask Lesley a question. You can ask all of my guest questions every single week because you are part of the conversation too. It is as simple as that. So make sure that when you jump in, just drop a like, drop a share, and drop a comment, and let's start interacting with you and answering some of your questions that you have got today. If you haven't checked out the other episodes yet, you can do. All you ever have to do is let me start that again. If you haven't checked out our other episodes yet, then you can do. All you ever have to do is head over to the Spill It website, www.spillit.uk, where you'll be able to catch up with every single episode that we have done so far since we started in 2020. Maddening. All 72 other episodes, including our end of season 1 party, which was featuring Dan Spragg and Adam Oakley as well. All of that and more over on the Spill It website. And of course, obviously, the links to the podcast. You don't always have to watch this live, and you don't always have to watch it on catch up. You can also get the links to the podcast over on the Spill It website as well. So make sure you go and check that out. Keep those comments and questions rolling in. I want to engage with you. And obviously, Lesley wants to engage with you as well. This is going to be a really good episode for you guys to learn some really, really fun stuff. So, when you come in, just drop a comment and just say hi. And of course, don't forget to hit that share button. It is super, super, super important. Love it. Are you ready for a little bit of tea? Because I am parched. That's right. It is tea time. This is a section where I get to just talk my truth. I get to spill the tea on some stuff that I've found out there and update you with any of, upcoming news that you need to know of. Well, I have got some tea for you today. Here we go. Your first bit of tea from me is, it must be Doug. It must be Doug. Doug. That is right. There has been a potato grown. Here he is. Look at him. Look at that potato there, right? That was a potato. So this farmer basically came across this potato that he thought was a huge fungus. It's actually a 9-kilogram potato. When asked what he wanted to do with it, my kind of guy said straight away, I might make some vodka. Genuinely, what a top guy. But yeah, that is a 9-kilogram potato. I don't know what I would do with it. I'd probably make quite a lot of mashed potato. I love mashed potato. Yeah. And then probably go along like the lines of him and, vodka. Why not? Absolutely amazing. Love it. Monster Mondays is available for anybody who is into Monster Mondays. So I'm going to be pushing this again. I have launched an official Twitch gaming channel. So we stream over on Twitch every single week. So every Wednesday. This goes out over on Twitch. But now over on Mondays, I'll be doing Monster Mondays over on Twitch. So if you wanted to see just a little bit more of me and the things that I do and the things that I enjoy, then you can head over to Twitch on Mondays and you'll be able to see a little bit of gaming over on there, where I'm going to be playing some horror games and scaring the bejeebus out of myself while playing said games. And you can all, watch, laugh, mock, whatever you want to do over on Twitch. Spooky Spill It as well. It will be launching very, very soon. We talked about this last week. I've got plenty of the audio clips ready. The Spooky Spill It will be available for people to start listening to over on the podcast. So make sure that you stay tuned over on your preferred podcast streaming method over there, because you'll start seeing all of the Spooky Spill It's over on those platforms as well. And sub that spill. As of next season, because we're coming to the end of season 2, as of next season, there will be an additional Spill It episode only for Patreon customers and, of course, those who subscribe to the podcast. So you'll get your weekly dose of Spill It, but then you'll get an extra spill every single week as well, where we do a bit of a deep dive. We have some extra guests on as well, but they are going to be going out only to the Patreon customers and subscribers of the podcast. So if you are wanting to get involved in that, make sure you head over to Patreon. You can find the link over on the website, www.spillit.uk. You'll be able to find the link over to Patreon there. You'll be able to join the Patreon community. And of course, if you are listening to the podcast over on Spotify or wherever you want to listen to it, then you'll be able to subscribe on there, and you'll also be able to get access to these additional episodes of Spill It. One more time for that website is www.spillit.uk. There is no co, it's just UK. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my tea for today. Okay, she has been waiting very, very patiently in the back. It is the lady of the hour. It is my special guest for this evening. It is Lesley Elder-Aznar. Hello.
Hi, Marcus. That's a great introduction. Thank you. Glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it's getting a bit chilly now here in Spain. I'm in Almeria, the more south area of Spain. And up until maybe a week ago, it was still quite warm. But it's now starting to feel a little bit like winter. So probably going to have to move further south again. So with the cold weather.
The weather has taken a turn for the worse over the last couple of days. Here in the UK, it is absolutely freezing, and it's deceiving as well, because you look outside and you can see that there's a little bit of sunshine out there, and then you walk out and it's absolutely freezing. I'm not a fan of it right now. I'm quite jealous of you being over in Spain.
I remember days like that in Scotland, my home country, and the days with the blue sky were great. Bit of sunshine, blue sky, fabulous. The other 364 days of the year, grey skies and rain. Don't miss that at all. So don't miss that at all. And that's one of the reasons why I moved to Spain. So to get away from the horrible weather and the cold and the rain.
Definitely don't blame you at all. Are you ready to play a little bit of a game, though, with me today?
I am. I'm excited.
Nice one. Well, let's do it. This is This or That. This or That is a game that I play with my guests. It's just a nice little icebreaker of a game. I will give you two options, and you choose either this or you choose that. It is as simple as that, really. Are you ready to play?
I am. I'm excited.
Let's do it. Let's ask you 10 questions. Here we go. Question number 1. Peanut butter or jam?
Oh, jam. Peanut butter's a crime. It's a crime. Jam.
I don't think it's a crime. I absolutely love peanut butter.
It's awful. The only thing that could be worse is if you could put chocolate in with it. That would be worse. Chocolate and peanut spread. No, jam.
Would you prefer multiple choice questions or essay questions?
Oh, that's a good one. I've always got something to say, Marcus. I think I'd have to go for the essay question.
I have to actually admit with that as well. I absolutely love writing, so I could go on and on and on. So I would prefer an essay question rather than a multiple choice.
Yeah, definitely.
Adventurous or cautious?
Oh, adventurous. That's what we're talking about tonight. Adventure.
Exactly.
Taking a chance, riskiness. Yeah.
Saver or spender?
Well, given the state of my bank balance over the last 40 odd years, I think we're probably going to have to go with spender. There's not a holiday that I haven't thought, yeah, I could spend my money on that. Let's do it. Yeah. So that's where my money's gone over the years, gone here, there, and everywhere. But I've had a great time. So
Love it. Laptop or desktop?
Laptop.
Yeah, I agree, to be fair.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's just easier.
It's easier when you need to be on the move like me sometimes. But there are those times when it's great just to take the laptop into your bed and watch a bit of Netflix on a Sunday morning. And all those that are thinking I was going to say something else, stop it. Naughty.
Shower in the morning or shower in the evening?
Oh, I actually do both because I have a dog that likes to cuddle and he's a bit smelly. So he gets his walk about 7 o'clock and then I have to have a shower because I'm always covered in fluff. So this has gone downhill rather quickly, hasn't it, Marcus?
Not at all. I'm finding out so much about you. It's unbelievable. Spicy or bitter?
Spicy, I think. Although spicy stuff does make me sneeze a little bit, so it depends who I'm with. I'd probably stick with bitter if I was in polite company. I want to be sneezing and sniffing all over the place.
Skydive or bungee jump?
Taking the fifth on that one. Sorry, go into your tunnel, Marcus. Can't hear you. Try again. Not happening. Just not.
Would you prefer raisins or nuts?
I think I'm still in that tunnel. I would go for nuts. If you forced me, I would choose nuts.
Good. Yeah.
No raisins.
Long hair or short hair?
Short. Easier. Less time consuming. You can see that it's not been a lot of time spent on this, just been out with the dog, so no excuse. Have not actually been dragged through a hedge backwards. I know it looks like it, but it didn't actually happen. So one day I'll be glamorous. I was expecting you to do hair and makeup before we started this, you see.
Yeah, it's my fault. The hair and makeup artist is caught up in traffic.
I was expecting them round here at 6 o'clock this morning for an early start.
One day they'll get there on time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Your last one for the evening. Think before you talk or talk before you think?
Oh, the words just come out. There's no thinking involved, Marcus. There's no thinking involved. You'll figure that out for yourself before we're done tonight, I'm sure.
Love it. I'm exactly the same. I talk and then I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Love it. But that was This or That. What did you think?
Some of them are quite difficult. And some of them are just awful. What a choice. Bungee jumping or skydiving. That's not like a choice. You could say like bungee jumping or skating or running a marathon, but there's not much to choose between those two. No, that's a choice. Death or death. What would
For
you rather
me,
have?
it's skydiving. I think 100%. If somebody said to me, "Here's a ticket for skydiving and here's a ticket for bungee jumping, you can only choose one," I would do the skydiving 100%. I've always
It's
wanted
just
to do it.
no. That just means that you've got longer to contemplate your death. That's not a sensible choice at all, Marcus. If you're going to die, you want it over quickly. Just on the elastic, boom, you're done.
Well, maybe it's
There's
the
no
rush.
hanging around. Oh dear, it has gone downhill really quickly.
Michael
Moving on.
Wyford has been in the comments saying peanut butter. He prefers peanut butter over jam. He also prefers multiple choice to copy. Oh, multiple choice to copy off the smart people. So he prefers the multiple choice, so then he can copy. Treat yourself as well. And he said both to, I'm assuming, because he's quite an adventurous person. So I'm assuming his both was to skydiving and bungee jumping. Michael,
well,
you're going to have to.
He can have
Yeah.
my choice on that one as well. Knock yourself out.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Keep those
No.
comments and questions rolling through. We absolutely want to interact with your comments and questions live on air this evening. Now, you and I have had a chat offline, and
Yes.
I've got to get to know you a little bit more since playing this or that. But for everybody at home who is watching this or listening to this, who the heck are you?
I am Lesley Elder-Aznar, world famous, okay, maybe not quite world famous, slightly famous in small, very small project management circles as the author of I Would Rather Eat a Cactus Than Run a Project. I'm a consultant. Don't switch off, everyone. I've been working in project management for, over 20 years now. And I basically organise people, get them to do stuff, do a bit of bossing around, and implement things like new banking systems and launch new bank products. Most of my career's been in banking. Again, don't switch off, do not run away. I promise not to talk about banking. Other than to say, when you get those messages that pop up on the website of your bank at the weekend or on your bank app that say, we will be closed between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and you're like, I don't care, I'm going to be asleep. We're not asleep. We're actually making sure that everything still works. Or we're frantically trying to fix the stuff that doesn't work before you wake up and want to use the app again. So that's the kind of stuff that I would be involved in. But like all good consultants, we like to overcomplicate everything. There's not a jargon word that we don't embrace. And for me, I just got to the point where it was just getting ridiculous. I thought, people need to stop confusing other people. Project management is really simple. You decide what you're going to do, you make a goal, you break it down, baby steps, do the baby steps, jobs are good on project management. It's a life skill. Everybody should be able to manage a project. Making a cup of tea, project. You know exactly what you're trying to do. You know the steps to make the cup of tea. That's a project. So I just got annoyed with everybody overcomplicating it and all these big buzzwords and jargon and endless debates on LinkedIn about the intricacies of Scrum versus Lean and all this other sort of jargon that these boffins come up with. I thought, I'm going to write a book that just makes this really clear for people, explains all of these buzzwords, just keep it simple, explain what it's all about, what is going on. And I didn't really write it for people, sort of man and woman in the street. It's for people who work in these big organizations that are all going through change all of the time. They're changing their systems, they're launching new products, they're changing the way they do things. And they expect all the staff to keep up with them, but they don't train them. They don't say, this is how we're going to run this project. We want you to work on it. We want them, you've got to come along and tell us how you do customer service now, and we're going to change some things, and then we want you to explain how we're going to do customer service in the future. So we're using somebody who works in a call centre, who works in a service centre. We're asking them to come onto a project to explain their job and make sure that they can still do their job when we've made our changes. So it's not any more complicated than that. But poor wee Mary or Jean that's coming out the call centre to come and work on a project, she sat there like rabbit in headlights, absolutely no idea what's going on, doesn't have a clue what anyone's talking about. And we'll throw things at her like status reports, raid logs, project plans. Poor love hasn't got a clue what anyone's talking about. So that's my audience. That's who I wrote my book for. Anybody who's in a big corporate company that are going through change, don't understand what's going on around them, read the book, really easy.
So that's how you got writing that book. Where did the title of the book come from?
Well, because I live in Spain, I was sat thinking, what will I call my book? It's going to be a really good book. It's going to be a fabulous book. I need to come up with a name. What will I call my book? And I'm looking out the window and I saw this cactus, and I'm trying to think of something that says, for people who've got involved in a project but they don't really want to do it, I'd rather eat a cactus than be on a project, or I'd rather eat a cactus than run a project. Aha, that's it. And I like cacti. Cacti are nice. It's a sort of symbol of my time in Spain, really. Everywhere I've lived, there's always been a cactus in the garden. So that's kind of where it came from. It was really just, all these people that have found themselves working on projects, don't know what's going on, don't really want to be on a project. I'd rather eat a cactus than run a project. That's what it's all about. So
I absolutely love the title of the book, to be fair. It's really tongue-in-cheek as well. You think it's going to go down one route and it doesn't. It changes direction completely into a more business setting. I quite like that idea of it. Was it something that you always wanted to do? Did you always want to kind of write a book? Or?
Not at all. Had absolutely no intention of writing a book. Wasn't even on my list of things to do. How it came about actually was I'd been working in project management in the UK, but living in Spain. So I was doing a weekly commute, which was a pain in the bum, to be honest. And with COVID, of course, that all stopped immediately. Just can't go anywhere, can't leave Spain, can't go to work. And also a lot of companies stopped the projects that we were working on. And that was it, because I'm a contractor, a consultant. I'm not actually an employee. So they can just give you sort of very short notice to say, right, we don't need you anymore. We're going to stop this work next week or next month or something. So, okay, fair enough. And we thought a couple of months, bit of time off for the summer. It'll be great. What could possibly go wrong? 9 months later, this is dragging on a bit, isn't it? So, of course, we've all got a bit of money stashed away in the bank. Well, hopefully, some savings to live on. But my husband, he's an estate agent in Spain. Well, he was. He's just retired. And, of course, his business closed down overnight as well. Wasn't allowed to go. Well, we were not allowed to leave the house. So you can't exactly go and show houses to other people or other people's houses when you're stuck at home. Can't go anywhere. So his business closed overnight as well, more or less shop. And so we're sat there thinking, well, this is a bit crap. So kind of over Christmas, New Year, I thought, right, need to actually focus, because nobody gets hired in corporate world or project world sort of November, December time, January even. February is when it starts to pick up again. And obviously at that point, we're thinking, well, maybe things will start to get back to normal or some kind of normal. And so I kind of thought, well, I need to do something to stand out, because at this time, January, February, there's going to be a shed load of people looking for the same job as me, and they're in the UK and I'm not. So how am I actually going to make sure that I get a job? Because there's not going to be that many jobs. There's going to be more people looking for the jobs than jobs available. So I thought this is going to be difficult. So did a bit of research on the internet and did a bit of sorting out my LinkedIn profile, my CV, all that sort of good stuff. And I thought, I need to do something else. And that all just kind of came together. I was getting annoyed the more I read complicated stuff about project management, how difficult it was. I think it's not difficult. And it all just kind of came together. And I thought I could write a book. I'll write a book. Never written a book in my life. Didn't think I had the patience, attention span of a gnat. How am I going to actually focus to write a book? But when I actually got started, it just kind of came out really quickly, because I'm writing about something that I already know the answer. I know the ending. It's not like I'm writing a novel. Oh, wonder which way this is going to go. Who's going to be the murderer? Didn't have to work any of that out because it just kind of all came out. I've been doing it for long enough. So that all just happened really quickly. And at this point as well, I'd become a bit infamous for my rants on LinkedIn about consultants and jargon and various other things. And, I've got people who only follow me because they like a good rant about something. So it's all just kind of come from there. So I published the book in May. I sell a few hundred copies every month. It's doing okay for a project management book. I mean, for God's sake, who wants to read about project management? It's not like you wander into W.H. Smith. Oh, I think I'll buy a project management book. Project management or Mills and Boon? Decisions. So, it does okay. And I think it's because it's different. It's because, as you say, it sounds like it's going one way and then it becomes more sort of businessy. And I think that's because I've tried to put a bit of humour into it as well, and sort of take the mickey out of myself and out of project management, because people do take it all very seriously, and you don't need to do that. You can have fun, have a laugh at work. That's my slogan for tomorrow: have a laugh at work. So anyway, so that was the book thing, but what I actually wanted to get across tonight about that was the fact that I didn't actually stop and think about what I was doing, because if I had done, I probably wouldn't have done it. And when we spoke before about me coming on the show, and I was saying, well, what am I going to talk about? I might get lost for words. But okay, that's not going to happen. But the main thing was, it's this whole idea of dare to dream. So Brené Brown wrote this book a little while ago called Dare to Lead, and it's about people having the courage to step up and lead authentically and be themselves and not be scared of doing the right thing, follow their intuition, whatever it is for you that makes it, it's your thing. And I thought, well, but actually, before we can lead anybody, we've actually got to be able to do our own thing. We've got to be able to dream our own dreams and make them reality before you can say to other people, come with me. And I think it's a really important thing to get across to people, because most people say, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could write a book. Well, you can physically just sit down for 3 weeks like I did, make notes, structure, and write the words. That's what you do. Look it up on Amazon. They tell you how to publish it. They take you through baby steps. You want to write a book, if you really, really want to do it, you get on with it. Don't stop and think, just do it. Or people will say, oh, I wish I could do this, or, oh, you're so lucky. No, I'm not lucky. I made a plan, baby steps, broke it down, goals, steps to achieve goals, get on with it. Back to project management, you see. But I think what stops people before they even get to that point of thinking whether they can or can't do, they don't even verbalize, I don't know, Marcus, you maybe got a dream to play Premier League football or to play the piano on stage or whatever your dream is. And you won't actually say that because you'll maybe be scared people are going to laugh at you. He can't play football. He'd never play the piano on stage, for God's sake. He's got fingers like sausages. I don't know if you've got fingers like sausages or not, but you get the idea.
I don't think I do, but...
But that's the thing. It's this lack of confidence. People think, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'll never do that. I'm not clever enough for that. I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not, whatever it is, I'm not enough. And then there's the fear of judgment. This is my favourite one. The fear is, what will people think? Oh, I can't do that. What will people think? Okay, here's a tip. No one cares. Everybody else is so busy worrying about their own stuff. I was going to say a sweary word there, but I won't. They're so busy worrying about their own N's and T that they don't care what you're doing. They really don't. If they do care, they're probably either super nosy or maybe a little bit jealous. That's the
Mhm.
only reason why you really keep tabs on what someone else is doing. That girl you were at school with, that bloke you used to work with in your first job, what's he doing? God, imagine him doing that. Most of the time, I would say 99.9% of the time, people do not care what you're doing. They're not going to turn, oh, who does he think he is? Well, they probably would where I come from in Scotland. There's a lot of that going on. Oh, look at her. Who does she think she is? You can't listen to that. You've got to just forget that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You go out and you do your thing, because if all the people that you admire that have been successful stopped and thought for a minute, oh, that woman I used to live next door to in Falkirk, oh, she might be watching this and thinking, oh God, what is she doing? She's not, and it doesn't matter. And those people that are successful in whatever field, if they had stopped for a second and worried about that, they would never have done anything. They wouldn't have achieved what they've achieved. And that's the thing with my move to Spain. Moved to the country, couldn't speak the language, didn't even know the days of the week in Spanish, had no idea. Came with my 3 cats, some furniture. That was a mistake. If you're going to move to another country, you don't need your furniture. They sell furniture in other countries. Okay, here's a tip. I said I was doing it. I got on the plane and landed in Spain. Didn't have a clue what was going on. Figured it out when I got there. Thankfully, I met my husband, who was my estate agent. First bloke I saw when I got off the plane. You'll do. The rest, as they say, is history. But that was 8 years ago, so it's gone pretty well so far. But if I hadn't met him, it would have been a lot more difficult. He definitely smoothed the way on a lot of things. But yeah, just if that's your dream, make a plan, figure out what you need to do to make it happen. I would suggest learning the language before you go. At least a little bit of it would be helpful. Find somewhere to live, even if it's temporary. You don't need to have all the answers. Have a bit of money saved up. Have some clue as to what you might want to do to earn some money. We're in the digital age now. It's so much easier than it was before.
Yeah.
People can figure out a way to be a digital nomad. I think that's the down with the kids term these days. Just make a plan. What things do you need to do to feel comfortable to go on and do it? Or never mind even feeling comfortable. What do you need to do just to physically make it happen? And just get on with it. And never mind what anyone else says. And if you fail, so what? At least you tried. Just do it. You want to write a book. If you think you've got a book in you, get on a topic that you're really passionate about and the words will come. Just get on with it, and if you stop for a second to think about what other people are thinking or that you might fail, whatever, you'll never do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my message today. If you're thinking about doing any of these things, then crack on. There's no time like the present. Do it.
I love that. And it really reflects on the things that we talk about on this show anyway, when it comes to things like imposter syndrome, where you are standing in your own way from achieving the things that you know deep down that you can do. It's just that what you're doing is that you're putting up these walls around you that block you from moving forward. You've put your own limitations there.
Exactly.
And you've just got to strip them back and realize, actually, there's no harm if I do it and fail. Like, just go for it. Like, every day is a learning day anyway. Like, every day you learn something new. And if you go ahead and you do something that you've always wanted to do, you'll learn from that experience, and that experience will help you grow to the next project that you move on to. And it might be that you think, you know what, I'm like, for example, let's say with me, if, for example, I woke up tomorrow and was like, I'm going to write a song. It's going to be brilliant. And I could write that song, but then it might fail. And then I think, do you know what? Maybe that's not for me, but I'll use what I've learned from that and move and channel that into a new project for me, something that I can feel passionate about. And that's what it's all about. Michael has asked a question in the comments as well. Do you find that the corporate world as a whole takes itself too seriously?
Oh God, yeah.
Or is it particularly so when it comes to PM?
I think corporate world generally takes itself too seriously. I think it's changing. I think over the last few years, there's a lot of brands emerging now that are sort of a bit more down with the kids. I'm even showing my age by using that expression now. But you think of all these sort of digital brands, you know, they're trying to be more hip, more cool, more with it. But behind the scenes, they've still got these massive corporate cultures. You know, I mean, if you even look at places like Facebook and Google, they're supposed to be all laid back. Everyone's playing table tennis and drinking beer. Well, I don't actually think they are. I think they're working in quite a controlled environment where, you know, your time is monitored and you have to meet your goals, your objectives, whatever it is that, you know, they're telling you to do. And I think that's the challenge when you start any big venture, that you're going to have a degree of control, or you feel that you've got to have a degree of control over your workforce, and you start to make all these rules. You know, everyone starts off, oh, we're going to be really laid back here, and it's not going to be like it was at my old company. And then as the business grows, they have to start putting in the same sort of rules as they experienced before, which then drives a particular kind of culture. Now, I think the virus, COVID, has definitely shaken that up a bit, because it's been a massive culture shock. I mean, a lot of the companies that I've worked for in the past, the whole idea of working from home, oh, no, we can't have that. People will slack off. You know, we can't have that. Well, we're project managers. We've got a plan. They have to do their tasks. If they don't do their tasks, they'll get into trouble. You don't need to be watching them 8 hours a day on a video screen. You know, and I used to have the odd day working from home. So I used to call it my thinking days. I needed to actually concentrate. And, you know, that was seen as a bit of a novelty, which it was great for me. I was trusted to do that, but, you know, no one else was allowed to do it. And I think that's been one of the biggest things that will impact the corporate culture, is that the balance of, you know, that trust thing has had to shift dramatically. Bosses, managers now need to trust the people. They need to trust them to do the work. You know, and obviously they have been doing the work, because, you know, the economy hasn't completely crashed over the last few years, or the last couple of years. But yeah, so I think it has in the past taken itself too seriously. I think things are starting to change as we realise that people are actually human beings, and we need to treat them as people, not as human resources. I hate that phrase. You're a human resource, Marcus. Did you know that? You're a human resource.
Yeah, I do know that. I feel it every day.
Ridiculous. Human resource. Whoever came up with that, they need a slap. Human resource.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, we go back to, as you quite rightly said, the virus has made companies realize that they have to change the way that they work, the way that they treat people, etc. I mean, prior to the lockdown, I was with a company who they would call people down to a meeting. They would take people away from like their territory, if you will. So we were spread across the country. There's only a small team of us, and we were spread across the country. And they would call us down centrally to just tell us something that could have been done over a Zoom call or whatnot. And so therefore, they're taking things out of our days. We have people traveling from Glasgow or Edinburgh or wherever, traveling all the way down to near London, to then be told something that could have happened over a message or an email or a conference call or whatever, and then they would have to drive all the way back to do that. And the way that the world has changed now, it's shown that you can have these types of meetings over Zoom, over Google Meets, over wherever you want to do your video conference or whatnot. And I think those companies who are still trying to repeat the way that they worked before lockdown, they will end up perishing a lot sooner than expected, because they're not wanting to change. They're not wanting to develop themselves. And the thing is, as well, is that the workers, the people who are on the floor, they don't want to stand for it anymore either. I think that a lot more people have become wise to it, especially with the working from home and realizing that they can do things from home, and that the way that the corporate world has kind of pulled the strings, they've realized that actually they don't need that anymore. And even going down to something as simple as work-life balances. When people were working from home, they realized that actually they prefer having a better work-life balance. The amount of chefs, for example, who have completely changed career paths because of the fact that they've realized that actually they could do a different job, get paid round about the same, but are being at home a lot more than what it would be in the chef world.
This is it. This is
Yeah,
it.
there's a huge call out. Lorry drivers, for example, as we've seen, like
Don't want
there's
to be
been
away from home.
there's been a huge shake-up in the way that we work, and these corporate people need to quickly realize that and quickly change the way that they work. Otherwise, they will fail. They will.
It's already happening. You know, there's companies that people just don't want to work for anymore, and it's the same in project world. You know, there's a desperate shortage of project managers. This is my latest thing I'm on now, is training people. You know, actually bringing them into project world, because we apparently 2 million project managers short every year worldwide. Like, don't all rush down to sign up for my course, because a lot of the vacancies are in China and India. Obviously, they've got bigger populations, so there's going to be bigger need. But even in the UK and America, there's a huge shortage of project managers. So I'm on a bit of a mission now to get more people to come into the profession. You know, I'm helping people to just learn the basics of project management, first of all, but then to actually how to get a job when you haven't got any experience. You know, it is possible. So I'm on a thing with that just now. But what is going to make the biggest difference for people who are trying to hire project managers is whether they're allowing people to work from home or work remotely. You know, most of the people that I work with, they want to be working from somewhere warm and sunny, you know, and it's possible. You can do it. My team, at the moment, I'm in Spain. I've got a lady in Greece who's working from a Greek island. She's been there for months. I've got another lady who's over visiting family in India. She's working there. I've got a couple of people in the UK, and I don't have to keep tabs on them. I know that they're doing their work. They get stuff done. They know what they need to do. If they need to go to take the dog to the vet, or the child to I was going to say the dog to the dentist. Do dogs go to the dentist? Anyway, you know what I mean? They don't need to ask permission. They let me know out of courtesy in case I'm trying to get hold of you for something. But they don't have to ask, is it okay if I go to the toilet, miss? You know, it's not that kind of culture. They're all adults. They're professional people. They get the job done. I don't really care where they do it from. You know, it's not my responsibility to sort out their tax or whatever. They're all self-employed consultants like myself, so they can work it out for themselves. But yeah, I think the world's changed from that perspective now, and I think the more companies realise that they need to do things differently, the more success they're going to have in hiring the best people into those kind of jobs. Because the people that say, oh, you have to be in the office 5 days a week as a project manager, that's not going to cut it anymore. They're not interested, especially the younger ones that want to be off travelling and seeing a bit of the world. You know, digital nomad. I'm a digital nomad wannabe. Well, I'm kind of doing it. I'm in Spain at the moment, and we are in the process of trying to move to Portugal, so near Madeira. So I'm kind of nomadic, even though it takes me 8 years at a time to move anywhere. So just a slow mover. I'm a slow mover. So
going back to what we were talking about earlier with the way that people should be thinking and stop standing in their own way and things like that. What advice would you give to someone who really does want to kind of push forward and break down these boundaries that they've set upon themselves? What advice would you give to them?
Take the project management approach. So with project management, it's all about set the vision, understand what is it I want. I want to live and work in a warm country. Write down the goals more in detail. So I want a warm country in the Northern Hemisphere that speaks English and where I can work. I don't know, whatever your goals are. So then for each of those individual goals, I want to go somewhere I can work. Right, what do you need to do to be able to work in that country? What are the steps? Okay, so I want to learn how to do online marketing on Instagram or something, right? go and do a course. That's the first step. Get it done. What's the next thing? You need to build up a following on Instagram. Right. How are you going to do that? Go online, do your research. So it's just that bit of having that vision, your specific goals, and then the steps that you need to do, and just get on with it. You know, don't faff about, I can't be bothered today. If you're determined, set a time frame. I said I was going to be on the plane to Spain before my 45th birthday, giving my age away now. And I stuck to the timeline. That's what project management is about. You deliver what you've got to do by a certain date. So I set the date and then I just made it happen. Clearly I skipped a few steps, didn't learn the Spanish, but you know, just get on with it, make it happen, set a date, give yourself 6 weeks or 6 months, whatever it is for you, and just do it. That's my advice. Get on with it.
I love the expression, make it happen. Just, that's how you drive it home. Just make it happen. And how are you going to, you've got your end goal. You know how you're going to get there. Well, you just need to fill in the blanks of how to get there. You are at point A. You want to get at point B. What are the steps that you need to do to get from point A to point B? And just do it. Just stop. Just do it, guys.
You could be a project manager, Marcus. You've got it. That is it. That is the basic. And then you say, what could possibly go wrong? And you write a list of things that could possibly go wrong.
Oh, I'm definitely good at that. I'm forever telling myself what could go wrong.
Project manager material right there.
That's what it is. I have a phone call with somebody and I'm thinking, right, what could go wrong with this phone call now? And all the bad things will come into my head about every single thing, every different outcome of that phone call.
But what you do then is write them down and say, right, what can I do to prevent that happening? Risk management. It's all life is project management, Marcus. What can I tell you? What can I do to stop that happening? Or do I just accept that it is a risk and it doesn't matter?
I love it. Just start looking through the eyes of a project manager. Like, I'm going to start looking up at project managing now and just use that as a way to fix the things that I need fixing in my life.
Exactly. It's a life skill. Project management for everyone. That's going to be my next book. Project management is for everyone. There you
Love
go.
It.
Sparked an idea. We sparked an idea.
Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you would like the opportunity to discuss now?
I think we've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I think for me, the message just to get across to people is what we're just saying, you know, make a plan, get on with it, but stop worrying about what other people think, because honestly, that's my challenge to people now. Write a list of 10 people that you think are going to judge you if you do your plan. That's the next step in the project management of life thing. Write down 10 people that you think are going to judge you, and then put it away, and then look at it a bit later and think, do these people really care? Really? They've got nothing else to worry about. They've got to get up for work tomorrow. They haven't ironed their shirt. They've got to get some stuff from the supermarket. They must remember to pay the telephone. Oh, yeah, and what's Jenny down the road doing? They don't care. Get on with it. Make it happen.
And secondly, do they matter?
Exactly. How important are these people in your life? You know, if you were on your deathbed, would you be phoning them up to come and visit you? Probably not. They don't matter.
They don't matter, and they don't care. Just get on with your life and just do it.
Exactly, that's it. They don't matter and they don't care. That's our tagline for now, people. Don't matter and they don't care.
That's definitely going to be my tagline. I might even get that tattooed on me somewhere. They don't care. They don't matter. Love it.
Brilliant.
I definitely think it's a winner there. I want to know from you though, what's next for you? What does the future look like for Lesley?
Well, hopefully we'll get moved to Portugal, to our island, before the next lockdown happens. It's a bit worrying at the moment. And there's probably another book in there somewhere. I just need to get riled up enough about something to get pen on paper, I suppose. So, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So love working from home, love my job, and yeah, I made it happen.
Good. Absolutely love that as well. Just driving that home, make it happen. You've made it happen, and you will. I'm sure that your new book and your move, you'll make them happen as well. And please keep in touch with us as well. As soon as that new book's available, we'll post it out absolutely everywhere
I'll be
that
back
we can.
promoting it like crazy, I'm sure.
Do it. I will be happy to have you back. For
Thank
now,
you.
though, where can people find you if they've got questions about project managing, if they've got questions about your book? Where can people find you to get more information about the work that you do?
So I spend most of my social media time on LinkedIn. So you can find me on there, Lesley Elder-Aznar. I also have a website, cactus-club.teachable.com. So that's where my training courses are. If somebody is serious about learning project management, it's all in there. And yeah, I'm on Facebook as well sometimes, but that's probably, I'm not on there as often as LinkedIn. So LinkedIn's a place, come and ask me questions.
Brill. Carolyn has given an idea for a book. She's called it "Adventure: The Adventures of a Project Manager."
Oh God, I don't think I've got enough space on my laptop for that one. God, yeah, I need to buy one of those pen drive thingies. So that's a good one.
Now, at the end of every episode, I give my guests the opportunity to give a quote. Now, it can be something that they stand by, live by. It could be something that they've heard that they just really like. Or it could be something that they have made up themselves and they think, this is how I want to live my life. And I'm just wondering if you have got your quote for us today.
I do, and it's from a very wonderful lady who sadly is no longer with us, Carrie Fisher. Princess Leia, for those that are not familiar, you know, the one with the buns, the buns in Star Wars. So Carrie was a very, very smart woman, and she said, stay afraid, but do it anyway. What's important is the action. You don't have to wait to be confident, just do it, and eventually the confidence will follow. That just about sums it up, I think.
It definitely does. And can you just explain why that quote is important and what that quote means to you?
It kind of hit home for me because when I was starting to write my book, I didn't feel confident. I thought, no one's going to read this. Why would anyone read this? The little devil was in my brain. And I saw this quote from Carrie Fisher, and the confidence will follow. And I thought, okay, let's try that then. Let's just do it and see if the confidence does follow. And it did. So there you are, profound.
Definitely is true though as well. So I started writing my book, and so my book started off in one direction. It started off as like a complete self-help book, and I got writing on, I think I was on my 4th chapter, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I kind of just put it to one side. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Nobody will want to read this. And I kind of put that block up of myself. I put these little, you know, my self-limitation was there. I stood in my own way. And the reason that I did that was I blamed it because of the fact that I thought in my head, nobody will want to read this. Nobody will want to will buy this. Nobody wants to be any part of this whatsoever. But actually what it was, when I sat down and had to think about it, I realized that actually it was because I didn't believe in the things that I wanted to, like, that I was putting down on the paper. So I just changed direction, so gave my head a bit of a wobble, stood out of my own way and was like, right, okay, just do it. Because nobody, if I sell one book, it doesn't matter. If I don't sell any, it doesn't matter. I put pen to paper. I've done it myself. And so I changed directions, and my book is now a memoir that's also like a self-help book as well. I've just been flying with that. And it's because of the fact that I don't care now. I don't care what people may think about this book. I don't care that people may read it and think, oh, actually, I didn't know this, and start thinking of me in a negative light or whatever. I don't care. I'm writing this book because this is what I want to do. I said to myself, I'm going to write a book. I said at the end of last year, I said, throughout 2021, I will write a book. And now just about to the end of my book that I've been writing. And that's because I said to myself, by the end of next year,
this is
I will have
project
it.
management, Marcus. You set a goal, you made a plan, you set a deadline. It's all project management, and you're sticking to it because you said I have to get this finished in 2021 and you're running out of time. So it's project management, and I think what you said there about believing what you're writing, that's what makes it really easy. When you do actually feel strongly, passionately about what you're writing about, and it just comes more, it just comes much more easily than when you're trying to write in a certain style or be like someone else, copy what someone else has done. Do your own thing, write it as you see it. And there's a lady called Denise Duffield Thomas who writes on money blockers. I can't remember the name of her book now, but she's a great coach on removing these blockers that stop you from earning the money you want to earn. And she says, if you write authentically, write as you speak. So if you were having a conversation with your friend, how would you articulate that point? How would you explain it to your friend? And when you write like that, it's your own voice that comes through, and that's what people like. And she writes like that. She writes like she sat next to you telling you what happened last week when she went down the pictures where her new boyfriend. She's that sort of chummy kind of style of chat in her book, and it lands really well, and it comes across as much more her rather than her trying to write like she's Oprah or she's whoever,
Yeah.
So let's find your own voice, really. So
Definitely. And that's what I've ended up doing. And I've not looked back, and it's flying now. So, yeah.
Cool.
Well,
good luck with it.
Thank
You've
you very
only
much.
got a few weeks left, Marcus. No
I
pressure.
know. I'm coming to the end of it now anyway. So I've done well.
Good
I
on
wanted
you.
I wanted to get it done by the end of this year, and I've made it happen. There you go. Emmy Bell loves the quote as well. She got straight away that it was from Carrie. So, yeah, love that. And then Carolyn has said that you should do a trilogy of books.
Oh, I'll have to think of another topic then. I'll have to come back next year and get more inspiration.
There you go. Yeah, the guys here are always like offering inspiration, so you're more than welcome to that anytime.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on to talk about absolutely everything, and mainly, obviously, about stepping in your own way and getting rid of that voice that tells you that you shouldn't do that and to stop listening to people. What was it that we said? It was
get out of your own way.
Yeah, and it was that they don't matter and they don't care.
They don't care and they don't matter anyway.
Exactly. There you go. Love it.
Thank you, Marcus.
You are now free to say your goodbyes, Lesley. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone who's listening. And don't forget, life is all about project management. Life is a project. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And there you go. That was the end of the episode. That was a great episode, wasn't it? I've learned so much as well. Life is basically like being a project manager. I've learned so much from that. And I've got this massive smile on my face because I'm literally like, wow, actually, I could probably live my life in a better way now because I can actually plan the things I want to plan about. It's good. Set deadlines, set goals. Love it. Absolutely love it. Carolyn, cheers. Loved your talk. Yes, agreed. I absolutely loved it as well. What a great episode. Definitely learned a lot today. Pillars of Spill It, connect, inspire, and learn. I feel inspired, and I feel like I've definitely learned something. And I've connected with Lesley. The 3 pillars of Spill It win once again. Absolutely love it. Well, that is it. That is the end of November. Wow, we are now heading into December. This year has flown by, and we just have 5 episodes left of Spill It. Mad. 5 episodes of Spill It left. Make sure that you check out the website, www.spillit.uk, for the next round of episodes, the last 5 episodes of Season 2. We are coming to the end of Season 2. That is why I'm asking for a call out from you guys. If you have been watching or listening to the episodes of Spill It throughout 2021, throughout Season 2, If you've been watching and listening and you want to give me a call or come onto the show for 5 minutes or so, just to let me know how Spill It has helped you, has helped you learn, has inspired you, or whatever, and tell me what your favorite guest has been, like what your favorite episode has been this year, then just get in touch and let me know. I'm going to be ringing round some guests, let me start that again. I'll be ringing round some of the people who give me, contact to have a bit of a conversation with them, and ask them what has been their highlight of 2021 in the Spill It world, what they've learned, and what has been their inspiration as well. And I'm going to be playing all of those episodes, all of those little clips, all of those sound clips, all of those telephone conversations, all of those guest interviews that I do with people. I'm going to be playing them all over the New Year's special when we do the roundup of what Spill It has been like in 2021. So if you want to be involved in that, get in touch. Let me know. I'd be glad to hear from you. My name is Marcus Wright. When I don't do this, I run a coaching business called MW Coaching. That's Marcus Wright Coaching, or Mental Wellness Coaching, where I teach you how to stop standing in your way and tell you that you are good enough, and to hush that little inner saboteur, because you are good enough, you are worthy, and you do deserve everything that comes your way. Obviously, all the positive stuff. We're not going to say that you deserve all the negative stuff. That's a bit weird. But yes, MW Coaching and more you can find over on my website. You can get in touch with me as well. On there, it's just www.spillit.uk. It's as simple as that, really. Just get in touch via there. There's also the email address that you can get in touch with me, marcus@spillit.uk. That's how, you can email that to let me know if you want to come on the show, or if you want to get in touch with me about the MW Coaching side as well. You can also follow me on social media, everywhere that you can find me. Have a look. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all the same. Spillit_Marcus. Anywhere that you can find social media, you will find me under Spillit_Marcus. For everything Spill It wise, make sure you do head over to the Spill It website, www.spillit.uk. You can find things over there, like the link to Patreon. If you're wanting to support me in the work that I do, just click on Become an Official Supporter. That'll direct you to a link over on Patreon, where you can sign up and just donate as little as £2 per month, and you'll get all of the bonus things that come with being a Patreon customer. You'll get discount off merch, which, is over on the store. You'll get discount on merch. You'll also get those bonus episodes as well that I've been talking about when they start up in season 3 in 2022. So there's going to be bonus episodes specifically only for those Patreon customers and those people who subscribe on the podcast as well. That and more over on the website. Well, that takes us to the end of the website. No, let me start that again. That takes us to the end of the show. It's been such a pleasure having Lesley on the show, and obviously it's been really, really cool engaging with you guys as well. Thank you so much for everybody who has commented on tonight's episode, and thank you so much for everybody who has been listening at home as well. Until next time. I did that completely wrong. Until next time. That's not what we say. Let me start that again. Okay. And until we spill it again, it's bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Spill It. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Spill It goes live every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And a special thank you to these amazing teacups.